Number 13. Find the average rate of change if f of x is equal to 8x squared minus x. So the average rate of change of a function over an interval is the total change of the function's outputs over the total change of the inputs. So the formula for the average rate of change of a function over the interval that goes from a to b is f of b minus f of a over b minus a. So in part A, they give us an interval that goes from 1 to 2. So let's start by finding f of 1. F of 1 is equal to 8 times 1 squared minus 1, which is 8 minus 1, which is 7. Now let's do f of 2. F of 2 is 8 times 2 squared minus 2, which is equal to 8 times 4 minus 2, which is 32 minus 2, which is 30. So now that we have f of 2 and f of 1, let's find the average rate of change. The average rate of change is f of 2 minus f of 1 over 2 minus 1. So that's 23 over 1. So for part B, they give us an interval that goes from 0 to 1. So let's start by finding f of 0. F of 0 is 8 times 0 squared minus 0. And that's 0 minus 0. Now f of 1 we already know is 7. So the average rate of change is f of 1 minus f of 0 over 1 minus 0. So that's 7 over 1, which is 7. So for part C, they give us an interval that goes from 2 to 4. So let's start, well, we already know that f of 2 is equal to 30. So let's find f of 4. F of 4 is equal to 8 times 4 squared minus 4, which is equal to 8 times 16 minus 4. And 8 times 16, we plug that into the calculator. That's 128. And 128 minus 4 is 124. So the average rate of change is f of 4, which is 124, minus f of 2, which is 30, over 4 minus 2. And 124 minus 30 is 94. 4 minus 2 is 2, and 94 divided by 2 is 47.